What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Detroit Lions franchise. And as you guys may know, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I did tell you guys at the end of the Giants game that this episode is not going to have the NFL primetime highlight video aesthetic to it. Instead, we're just going to be talking about this game. It kind of pains me to be having to make this video. You're just going to see the highlights from the game in the background, and then we'll talk about it as it goes on. But it kind of pains me to have to make this video because this game is just extremely broken. As you see, Jamal Williams scores a touchdown. It's extremely broken, and it's going to stay extremely broken. It does not matter if Madden turns around and says, EA Sports turns around and says, next year's game is a make or break year. It's going to continue to stay broken. The biggest problem I have with this game is you have to play with sliders to even give yourself a realistic / fun gameplay. Well, I don't like to play with sliders because if I'm messing with sliders, I'm spending more time being hyper-focused on the sliders than I am enjoying and actually having fun playing the game. As you see, the Eagles tie the game up there. I have had some games in this franchise with the Lions here that have been really close games, but then I've also had games where it's just terrible. For instance, let me bring up the fact that Jalen Hurts in this game is terrible. I did edit him so that he won't be as bad. And he's a 94 overall, I believe. So I edited his traits to make him even better. And he's still terrible. This game is broken, like I said, and it's going to continue to remain broken. On the offensive side of the game, as I'm calling the game, I like to change up my play calls and make it realistic. But it just feels like whenever you run an inside zone from the shotgun, it's an automatic 6 yards every single time. Jamal Williams probably doesn't even have the best yards per carry in the franchise in this season, but at the same time, it's just either something is never going to work or it is just extremely broken. And it's like that on the defensive side of the ball as well. Aiden Hutchinson, for example, you guys saw we played the Cowboys in that live stream, and they have Zach Martin, who's 99 overall, and Aiden Hutchinson bullied him all game. I don't know if there's just something that the devs didn't code right, that the right guard just can't stop a defensive end. Doesn't matter what overall they are. Xavier Thomas came in that game and still dominated Zach Martin, a 99 overall right guard. So with that being said, you guys are going to see why this video is different than all the other videos. Right now it seems like 21-7, kind of beating them bad, but nothing has really gotten too bad. And then this play right here was one of the craziest plays I've ever seen in Madden. It's unfortunate that this game went the way it went because this would have been perfect for a clip. I still might clip it, but that was one of the craziest plays I think I've seen in any Madden game. And I don't think that this one was totally unrealistic. At this point in the season, Jody Fortson has been going off. And this right here, when I was actually playing it, I was like, wow, this got me hyped. He's breaking tackles, bouncing off of players. But then as the game goes on, it's like, this game is just trash. I mean, it was an explosive play. It was a fun play to commentate and play at, as I'm playing the game. But it just continued to get worse. 28-7 here. Goff throwing it. It's Jody Fortson again, wide open. I mean, they can't cover him. I mean, this is the Eagles team who last year in real life was a dominant defense, had an explosive offense. And we played them in this game in Madden with practically the same team. And Jalen Hurts sucks, and their defense is terrible. Madden doesn't do a good job at kind of simulating team's actual play style. And that's probably the part that frustrates me the most is, like I said, I like to play on a game where I don't have to mess with sliders. I can put them on all Madden and leave them at 50-50. I've shown you guys that throughout the entire franchise and leave it at 50-50, and I usually can get pretty good games out of it. As you see, a pick 6 here for Christian Gonzalez, and we're up 42-7 at halftime. Just a blowout. I didn't want to edit this and try and edit it and make it interesting and commentate. I mean, this is terrible. So this does feel like a rant, and it primarily is a rant. I'm just going to spoil it now. We are in the NFC Championship. And you'll see that at the end of the video, obviously. And if we win that game and then we turn around and we play the Super Bowl, that will probably be it for this series. And we got MLB The Show that's going to be coming out very soon. And I was watching their scouting video today for franchise mode, and it looks like it's going to be pretty fun. And for that series, I just want to go slow pace because I don't care if a new MLB The Show game comes out next year. We're still, unless they have the year-to-year saves again, I'm still going to continue playing that franchise because I want it to be a big series that lasts a long time and it can be interesting throughout. As we get the third quarter started here, we go to Alan Lazard for a huge touchdown. So the game is pretty much over at this point. I'm kind of just talking. You can watch the ridiculous highlights in the background. But I do want to talk about plans because obviously we have one, maybe two more games left in this series, and maybe a live stream right before MLB The Show, possibly. But we have the MLB The Show franchise coming out. That'll probably be started sometime in April. And like I said, I want that to be a long-running franchise, if real life, years, And then there's a game coming out this fall coming up. Hopefully early release comes out here in the spring on PC and I can get my hands on it and try it for the first time. But this fall, the Maximum Football game is going to be coming out. And I don't know if you guys have watched the trailer or listened to anybody talk about that game, but it looks really good. And I think that if they can nail the gameplay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if they can nail the gameplay and make it look somewhat realistic, that game will be a 10 out of 10 because the customization looks deep. My goal with that is I will definitely play that here on this channel. My goal with that is to create my own league, kind of like the XFL or the USFL. I don't know that it would be possible to have an 8-team league or a 10-team league. They might only let you do a 32-team league. If that's the case, I wouldn't really stress it. I could come up with 32 teams and we would do all the editing and creation on a live stream. I think that would be fun. It could be a long live stream, couple episodes of live stream, and then we'll get that series started because Maximum Football doesn't look like it's going to be like a year-to-year release game. It looks like it's going to possibly be a one-time game and then they make title updates to it. Until they probably make enough money to create a second game. But it looks like they're probably going to do a one-time release and title updates. And I think that would be perfect. And that's another series where we could rock the Maximum Football series. If the game is good, I'm not going to force myself to play it, but if the game is good and the creation is good, and we can kind of get immersed into our own little football league like the XFL or USFL with our own created teams and stadiums and uniforms, that would be an amazing series. I think that content creators that love football, this Maximum Football game, if it's good, could really make or break a lot of content creators' careers because you could do so much with it. I think it would be just amazing to do. So that will be a mainstay on this channel if the game is good, along with the MLB The Show. Right here, I'm showing you guys that I am on All Madden. I don't know why the game is playing like this. I'm not, at this point, I have True Clock on it, and I'm just doing coach suggestions. I'm not even trying anymore. I just keep selecting the A, and the game just continues to suck. There's no other explanation for it, at this point. But like I said, if Maximum Football is good, that will be a mainstay here on this channel. And then along with the MLB The Show franchise. And I think that those two games we could keep here on the channel and we could put out good content. And I think it could always stay challenging that way. That's my biggest thing is I want the series to remain challenging and remain difficult to move our way up. Here in Madden, it's not hard to do that. Once you get used to how the game runs, it's too easy. When you first get the new Madden, it runs a little different than the other Maddens. And so you kind of have to get used to it. So the first couple of months that you play it, you might not be as good. But as soon as you get down how the game plays and how the playbooks are, this game just gets way too easy. As Jalen Hurts throws another pick six. I mean, it's crazy. Another pick six by Jalen Hurts. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth right now. That is not the most amount of points that we're going to get in this game. The final score of this game would be 82-14. Kind of think about how that's just terrible. This game, I don't even really have anything to say about this game anymore other than it was hard because I recorded this probably 8 days ago, and that's probably why there's been such a pause on the channel, another turnover. And the reason there was is because after this game was over, it took me a while to decide, do I even want to continue this series? Do I want to just skip this video altogether? Because it was just that bad and terrible. It's just terrible. And so I did have to decide, do I want to continue this series? And I think that I was like, all right, I can make a video where I sit down and talk about Madden, and hopefully the next game is better, right? So we will be continuing the series. We only have one, maybe two more episodes left. There's no sense in not finishing it. I think it's been a fun series. This game right here just turned out to be terrible. So hopefully the NFC Championship can be better as there's another pick six. I'm going to stop talking about this specific game here. There's nothing more to talk about. I will talk about Madden in general. I don't think that I'm going to buy Madden next year, Madden 24, unless that they prove that the game is totally different. 7 turnovers by the Eagles, by the way. unless they can prove that the Madden 24 is going to be completely different and I can see it before I purchase it. But I'm not going to be buying it on release. Therefore, you're probably not going to see another Madden series on my channel. If Maximum Football doesn't work out, then it's just going to be MLB The Show. And if MLB The Show doesn't work out, then we'll find something else to do. But Madden will probably not be coming back on this channel. It is just a terrible game. And I've been saying that. It started with my Steelers franchise, and I worked up the courage to get back into Madden and play this Lions franchise, which I had fun with the majority of the time. But the game can't be played on default sliders on all Madden, because they'll hit you with an update and the game will be broken, and you just have to hope the next update fixed what was broken. It's crazy. But that's going to do it. As we look at the stats here, we dominated with yardage. We had a 30-point fourth quarter, a 35-point second quarter. And in the first and third quarters, it was a 17-14 game. So that's interesting to look at there. Jared Goff with his best game ever in this franchise. Jamal Williams didn't even get the opportunity to really run that much, 3 touchdowns, but Jody Fortson dominated again. The stats are amazing. I think the stats probably weren't indicative of it being a 82-14 game. You look at these stats offensively and you're thinking, okay, 42, 49 points. What did the other team score? 35? No, 82-14. So that will move us on to the NFC Championship game against the Dallas Cowboys, a team that we beat in Week 18, a team that was not very good in Week 18. So hopefully it's a better game than this game against the Eagles. That's what I'm truly hoping for. As you see, the AFC Championship is the Bills and the Chiefs. Pretty realistic there. And you look at top players, we had Christian Gonzalez there. So taking a look at the Cowboys roster real quick before we head out. And it's the same. Nobody's really injured. Nobody's really back. It's just the same roster, realistically. They're a good team. And I think that hopefully if the game plays better than this Eagles game, I think that we could have a really good game on our hands. The Cowboys would be the last team that I'd want to lose to. So we got to take care of business. We got to take down the Cowboys. But I hope to see you guys there, and I can only hope that the gameplay for the Cowboys game is going to be better than the gameplay from the Eagles game. That's going to do it for this video, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant about Madden throughout this episode, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.